Welcome back, everyone. Okay, today we are looking at something absolutely fascinating. We've gotten our hands on the anatomy of an AI mega prompt. And we're not talking about your average prompt here. This is a massive, multi-layered blueprint specifically designed to generate a 2026 cybersecurity masterclass. Honestly, this single source text is a masterclass in and of itself on how to command highly structured premium educational content from AI. So let's break this machine down and see exactly how it's built.
So, let's just dive right in. Right out of the gate, the creator of this prompt doesn't just ask for a simple lesson. They literally demand an identity. Just look at this quote. They are programming an incredibly ambitious, multidisciplinary persona. I mean, this isn't just a teacher, right? It's a senior cybersecurity engineer, ethical hacker, SOC analyst, penetration tester, digital forensics expert, cloud security architect, malware analyst, and instructor. It's the whole shebang. By stacking these incredibly specific identities, the prompter is basically forcing the output to pull from the absolute highest tiers of industry expertise. This guarantees the resulting lesson has real depth, authority, and that practical grit you actually need.
But wait, they don't stop at just the job titles. They attach this massive number to the persona, 20. We're talking 20 years of experience. I really want you to think about what that means in the context of cybersecurity. I mean, 20 years ago, the tech landscape was practically a different universe. By demanding 2 decades of experience, the prompt is forcing an output that possesses a deep, historical understanding of how threats have evolved over time, combined with the battle-tested wisdom of someone who has actually been in the trenches for years. It sets an impossibly high bar for the quality and tone of the instruction we're about to see.
To make sense of the 26 specific demands in this prompt, we've synthesized the blueprint into 4 easily digestible themes: the mega persona hook, bridging beginner to professional, career and industry integration, and finally, assessment and future-proofing. First up, Section 1, the mega persona hook and structuring the masterclass.
Establishing this highly specific persona is really the engine that drives this entire blueprint. Notice how these 8 specialized roles completely cover the full spectrum of the industry. You've got offensive security covered with the ethical hacker and penetration tester, and that's balanced perfectly against the defensive side with the SOC analyst and digital forensics expert. And of course, the cloud security architect is there to handle modern infrastructure. By explicitly listing all of these out, the prompt guarantees the resulting curriculum will have a true 360-degree view of the cybersecurity landscape.
And watch how this builds into a beautifully precise timeline. The creator doesn't just ask for a generic video script. They place it exactly within a massive chronological vision. The macro level is a 2026 cybersecurity masterclass. Within that, we zoom into week 4, which is dedicated to professional cybersecurity. Then we zoom in even further to hit the exact target, day 24, focusing entirely on cloud security. And finally, the output must be a complete video script running precisely 30 to 60 minutes. This funnel approach is just brilliant because it forces hyperfocus, ensuring the generated content perfectly fits a very specific slot in a much larger educational machine.
Moving right along the Section 2, bridging beginner to professional, the core tension.
Now, this is where we find the core tension of the entire source document. The prompt is attempting to bridge the massive, often super intimidating gap between a complete novice and a fully employable expert, all in a single, unified workflow. Notice the wild juxtaposition here. On one hand, the prompt explicitly demands that everything be explained in very simple English so absolute beginners can understand. But right alongside that, it demands deep professional-level concepts like freelance professional perspectives and live lab workflows. Think about how difficult it is to explain advanced cloud security architecture to someone who might barely know what a server is, while simultaneously keeping it rigorous enough for an actual professional standard. This fascinating tension really pushes the boundaries of instructional design, demanding total clarity without sacrificing technical depth.
To resolve that tension, the prompt requires a very specific progression for the student's experience. It moves learners logically, step by step. Step 1 is laying the foundation, complete theory combined with real-world examples and text format diagrams. Once the beginner grasps the core concept, we move smoothly to Step 2, practical demonstration in live lab, actually showing the theory in action. Finally, Step 3 elevates the students straight to the professional level with mini and full client projects. It's a perfectly scaffolded journey from knowing absolutely nothing to watching it happen to actually rolling up your sleeves and doing the work yourself.
And this brilliantly illustrates how we can neatly categorize the chaotic list of 26 different prompt demands into 3 distinct pillars of a perfect course curriculum. In the first column, we have theory and practice, which covers the visual explanations, live labs, and common mistakes. The second column is entirely focused on career prep, stuff like roadmaps, salaries, and interviews.
And the third column ensures accountability through assessment, with quizzes, homework, and projects. It is a fully self-contained ecosystem for learning.
Next up is Section 3, Career and Industry Integration, Beyond the Classroom. You know, what makes this blueprint so compelling is that it explicitly demands the curriculum prepare the student for the real-world job market. It moves far beyond traditional classroom theory. Just read through these key career-centric requirements pulled directly from the source. The prompt insists on including a professional workflow, a freelancer perspective, salary information, and even interview questions. So why does this matter? Because the creator totally gets that an adult learner isn't just taking a 2026 masterclass for fun. They want to get hired. They want to get paid. By forcing the inclusion of client project examples and salary data, the blueprint ensures the student is receiving actionable intelligence for their career, not just abstract academic knowledge.
Further proving its commitment to professional-grade standards, the prompt explicitly requires the lesson to tie back to these specific, heavy-hitting industry certifications. We're talking CEH, Security Plus, PNPT, OSCP, and CISSP. These aren't just random acronyms, right? These are the gold standard gatekeepers for a career in cybersecurity. By integrating certification knowledge directly into the day's lesson on cloud security, the prompt guarantees that the time the student spends learning is directly contributing to their ability to pass these massive industry exams. It's incredibly efficient.
And our final section, number 4, Assessment and Future-Proofing, Closing the Loop. Creating great content is really only half the battle. Ensuring the student actually retains the knowledge and that the knowledge remains relevant is how you truly close the loop. To guarantee that the ambitious beginner-to-professional promise is actually fulfilled, the prompt establishes rigorous assessment protocols right at the end of the lesson. It demands a highly specific 20-question quiz alongside standard homework, but then it scales way up to a mini project and a full project. This ensures that the learner absolutely cannot passively consume the content. They are forced to actively recall the information and apply it practically, cementing the day's specific cloud security concepts deep into their long-term memory. So, the crucial point here is that this blueprint doesn't just test what's happening today, it actively future-proofs the student. Look at these 3 explicit requirements: AI tools related to this topic, latest cyber attacks, and future scope. Cybersecurity is arguably the fastest-moving sector in technology. I mean, a lesson created today could literally be obsolete in 6 months. By commanding the inclusion of cutting-edge AI tools and emerging threats, the creator is forcing the curriculum to constantly look forward, ensuring the 2026 Masterclass truly lives up to its futuristic title.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought. We've just unpacked a single prompt that meticulously architects an entire professional-grade educational experience, from the instructor's mindset to beginner-friendly theories, all the way to rigorous career prep and future scoping. If this level of structured, high-fidelity instructional design can be generated on demand, how will this methodology fundamentally change the way we create and consume educational content by the time we actually reach 2026? It's a massive shift in how we think about teaching and learning. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I absolutely can't wait to dive into our next topic with you. Stay curious.